This is Community Unity Now. And thank you so much, Reverend Catherine Brown DTycoon, founder of Community Unity Now. This is Bill Morton, president of the Rogers Park Chamber of Commerce, and I am Trudy Leong, and we are your co-hosts today for the show. First of all, there is a little message that Bill wants to, and I want to bring out.
We have to say condolences to Cisneros and the Diaz families regarding the recent drowning of the 19-year-old Miguel Cisneros. We are so very sorry for the family's loss. In solidarity and action to prevent this from happening again, we are bringing this systemic issue to light. This is a reoccurring issue at Loyola Beach. We have too many balloon release memorials and not enough elected representation with the foresight of prevention. 49th Ward Alderman is not putting public safety first as the number one issue in the community. I have not heard a comment from Mayor Lori Lightfoot as of yet. And the vast bureaucracy of the Chicago Park District Board of Directors and executives makes the park advisory councils jump through flames of hoops on every single issue.
And the saddest thing is that the witnesses were upset that they had no life ring to toss to Miguel off Pratt Pier, despite there's city signage there indicating to use a city flotation device to aid anyone who is drowning. So basically, the witnesses saw Miguel drowning, and then they just couldn't do anything. They watched him die. So nine people drowned this year off the lakefront. So how many more people will we have to sacrifice before someone does something? And this will happen again and again.
It's a reoccurring problem in my 20 years of living in Rogers Park, not only on Loyola Beach, but throughout Lake Michigan, the city of Chicago. And I've seen so many children every year. I've been to so many funeral services. I've been to, I've seen seasoned swimmers who are professionals who went out every morning that the rip current just took them down off Jarvis Beach. We can't have this anymore. We can't have people sitting on their thumbs any longer. People are dying, and this is a real issue in our community and citywide.
Today, our guest is Gregory Lan Ijiwola, and he is from the Glow Church and also City Light Church, and he cares very much for the community. He has his special way of bringing people together. And Gregory, welcome to Community Unity Now.
Thank you, Trudy. Thank you so much. I'm glad to be here.
Well, first of all, how is a Glow Church and a City Light Church different from other churches?
Well, thank you so much for that question. The answer to that is what is called the unique value proposition when you're talking in business terms, like how we're different. Well, in many ways, we're similar to other churches because, we proclaim the faith, believing in God and all that. But we also have uniqueness. Well, one of the uniqueness is that it's a church pastored by an immigrant who came into the United States and integrated here, loves Chicago. So that's one. Second is that it's a church that is made up of a mix of all kinds of ethnicity, very, similar to the way Rogers Park is. So we have people in our congregations from various, different groups, different ethnicities, and that's what we, want to build the church on. Thirdly, because we just believe that the church should make a difference in the community. We do not want the church to just exist, be a building or just be there to take from the community. We believe that it should give and contribute to the community and be a part of the life of the community. So I think that's one of those things that makes us unique.
Mm-hmm. So in other words, you're not only a church, you're community activists, you're helping the community. You're not just worshiping, you're worshiping the community by helping the community.
Exactly. We are a church. We call ourselves a church at community. We are part of the community. We want to find out what the needs of the community are. We want to find out those who are already meeting the needs and want to cooperate with them and partner with them so that the whole community can be lifted up.
And when you started, I know that the first one that you started was City Light. Did you have a
Yeah.
mentor? Because it's like from the beginning, that it's hard to start a church. But did you have someone to help you, a mentor?
Oh, yes. I believe very strongly in mentorship. I believe that anything that is worthwhile, anything that is going to succeed, you need mentors. Every success, you can always trace it back to some other people that help them. So I have mentors now, and I had mentors then when we started City Light Church on the south side then. So there are a lot of them. Some of them are pastors, some of them are business people, some of them are just in different spheres, you know. So a bunch of pastors if I mention some of their names right now in the city of Chicago, are my mentors that I talk to them. I learn from them. Like, you know, on the west side, you know, Coach Gordon Londale is a mentor of mine. John Hanna on the south side is a mentor of mine. I have a mentor, I call him my pastor. His name is Sam Adeyemi. He's actually based in Atlanta. So a whole bunch of people have helped and mentored me, including people that I meet in the community. For example, when we came to Rogers Park, I came to meet you guys and talk to you guys. You guys are mentors for me also in the community because I'm learning the community from you all. So yeah, I believe very strongly in that.
Oh, thank you so much, Gregory. Actually, Bill Morton is a mentor of mine.
Oh,
Yes.
thank you so much, Judy.
Yes. I mean, I believe that you guys have lived. So for example, when I came to Rogers Park, I was trying to find out, who are the people that know this place well that I could talk to and ask questions from. Then I found Bill, and I found the Facebook group, and I saw that, wow, you know, it started. I reached out to you, Trudy reached out. We met with Bill and all that. So I watch what you guys do on the group. I learned from it. I learned from what you guys are doing. So you guys are mentors too. Yeah.
Well, Gregory, you've done a lot for the community, and you inspire us as well. So, what are the challenges of your ministry on the north side of Chicago?
Yes, you know, we moved to the north side shortly before COVID hit. So, you know, during COVID, a lot of churches are experiencing a lot of difficulties. But what we saw was that, okay, well, it's difficult, but it's an opportunity too. So we decided that what we're going to do was to hold off on the public launch of the church. We have not publicly launched it, but we said we were just going to be serving the community. So we switched to doing things online. We switched to meeting the needs of people, food, basic necessities of life, what they need, that we're just going to keep on doing that. So in doing that, you know, that has been great. But when you talk about challenges, some of the challenges that we face right now, challenges of, you know, venue, locations, because places are closed, and some of the places that you will use for events before they are still closed. Sometimes when we have what we call interest parties, we invite people to eat and talk and just share about our heart for the community. Some people are still reluctant to meet in groups. So we've done outdoors, you know, we do all the social, the COVID measures and all that. So that's still a challenge for many churches. So I would say that's what we have faced on this side.
And I've seen, like, everyone has changed throughout this pandemic. I've gotten longer hair.
I was wondering, you know, I was like, Bill, when I saw you last, you didn't have long hair.
I've been a real hermit, trying to stay away from everybody, to not become a super spreader, because president of the Chamber of Commerce, I meet with so many people, and during that election campaign, I was shaking everyone's hand and very close and talking to people, large groups of people. So I went the opposite direction, and I stayed away from everybody, and I spent a lot of time out of the neighborhood, just so I don't become a spreader to my community. So we all changed throughout the pandemic, and I did watch your Zooms. I did watch you on Facebook Live, and you had a soft launch, and I saw that as well. And I also I'm following you on the Rogers Park News Facebook group and everywhere else, and I see the truckloads of yogurt. The truckload, yeah. Yeah, all of the food and all the good that you do. And I really appreciate you bringing that truck down to the Howard and Paulina corner, especially. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
thank you. Thank you for your support too. Thank you so much for, you helped us also, even to find a location to do the distribution. You were calling around, both of you, trying to help us get places. Now, since then, we have actually bought a building, but it's a residential building
Hmm.
on TUI. So now we've worked on it. It's very beautiful inside. You guys should come and see it. Beautiful inside. Just it's like a residential place, but we turn into like a hub where people can come sit around, and then that's the outdoors too. So we do a lot of those distributions there. Like the last back to school that we did, people came over there to receive stuff. So, I mean, I want to thank you guys for your help and support since we came. You really helped us. Yeah, thank you.
How has the ministry made you grow, Gregory?
Yes, we grow in life in many ways. We grow through knowledge, through wisdom. We go through challenges, especially. Challenges make us grow. So, I mean, talking about ministry, of course, you know that I've been involved in it for some time, and it has been a major instrument to my growth. At every point in time, I meet one challenge or the other, but I will talk about recent ones. This COVID issue that that just hit the world, that we're all praying and working that, we'll be able to get out of it, was a major challenge to everybody in every industry, even including those of us who are serving in churches and nonprofit. We had to start envisioning the world, seeing the world in a different way. We all had to grow that there's a new normal that has come, and what we were doing before might not be enough to meet, the demands of now. So that made me to go and study. I got new books. I talked to new people. I started watching certain things about how do you continue doing what you want to do, fulfilling your mission when you cannot contact people physically. I don't know if you remember during Christmas time last year when everybody was locked in. I got some band to sing some songs, record some Christmas songs, and I was playing it on the group. I was playing it on Nextdoor and all that. People were sending messages to me. Wow, thank you, thank you. We couldn't, family couldn't come, and spend time with us for Christmas, but you just made it nice for us. That was just growing into that, like learning to grow. So I would say challenges have made me grow. And one of those challenges are some of the things that all of us are confronting right now that we have to adapt to and change. Yeah.
That was so beautiful. We watched the whole series of Christmas carols, and that your one of your members was such a great singer. It was so inspiring. I think she was singing "Oh Holy Night," one of my favorite songs.
Yeah.
It was so beautiful. That was a wonderful idea too. I think you touched a lot of people by sharing all those videos.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah, I got a lot of messages from people thanking, grateful. So it made me glad. That made my Christmas. Yeah, that we're able to give some joy to the community. Yeah.
There's so much to do. So how do you decide which projects to implement?
Yeah, so there's so much to do. As you both know, because you are very busy people too. You are very involved in the community in different ways, and one of the facts is that we cannot meet all needs. So because we're not the only ones in the community, right? There's a way that different people who have different missions and different visions are put in a community and they can collaborate together to get things done. So what I try to do is that we try to focus on our mission. We have a mission statement, as a church and as an organization that guides us, that this is what we focus on. Our mission simply is to be a light within the community. And what do we mean by that? We want to bring illumination. In fact, the word glow there, that word glow for the church is an acronym that guides what we do. So the G is to make people glad, be glad, we want to make people glad, we want to bring joy, into the community. So the L is to be loved, to just love people, in the community. That's the L. Then the O is, we call it be outstanding. So we know that everybody has a uniqueness, just like our fingerprints are different, and we have a uniqueness about us, and it's linked to the particular purpose that we have that has been given to us on this earth. So we want to help people discover that and help people shine in that. So we say be outstanding, because that's what makes you outstanding. Then the W is be world changing. Be world changing. So there's a lot of needs in our city, a lot of needs in Rogers Park in our city. And the people that will change these things, sometimes we look, for some other people to be the change. But like that Michael Jackson song, if you remember, The Man in the Mirror, he said, right? He said, if you want to make the world a better place, right? He said, look inside the mirror, talk to the man in the mirror, you be the change first. So we are all called to be the change. So we want to help people use their unique purpose, their uniqueness, to change the community in one way or the other, in order to make a difference in the lives of people in one way or the other, and we can all have a better community. So that's what glow is. And when we do that, the community will glow with light, with joy, it will be radiant. And our motto is live radiantly. Like we want people to live radiantly with joy, with love, with being outstanding and being world changing. So that's why we determine what we do. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which people, Gregory, are you best able to help?
Yes. So, like I said, everybody, every organization. That's why we have many organizations, many churches, because each one is equipped to help different set of people. We believe that the set of people that we are most able to help, first of all, are people who in their lives, they are under-resourced, right? They are under-resourced. That's one. Like they don't have resources. Maybe they are going through family issues, lack in one area or the other and all that. We're able to help such people. Secondly, we're able to help people, still from that glow thing, right? You can see that the need, the solution fits the need. So people who lack purpose in their lives, there's a lot of things going on in our city right now that we try to solve it on the surface, right? But you have to go deeper. So I have a PhD in organizational leadership. And one of the things we studied there is systems. We talk about systems thinking. Many times we try to solve problems on the surface of events. Or something happened, we try to solve it. But they said the surface is like the top of the iceberg. You have to go deeper to know what's really causing it. And that's systemic issues. So a lot of things going on in our community right now is because people lack purpose. They lack fulfillment in their lives. People don't really know why. Some people lack identity. They don't really know why they are here. There's so much hitting them from when they were born, especially young people in the community. We're so passionate about young people in the community that a lot of them just don't know what life is about, their identity, what is their purpose? What is all this even all about? We want to give them that purpose. We want to make their face shine. We want to discover that, wow, you mean that's me? Me, I can do that? So we want to bring joy. We want to bring purpose. We want to bring love. Everybody is looking for love. Everybody just wants to be loved. That's what all of us are looking for, because we're created to be loved. God made us that way. So we want to spread love. We want to show love, however. And also, those people who are looking for, love, acceptance, they're looking for a family, that's made up of people, diverse people from different ethnicities and backgrounds, people that are under-resourced, people looking for purpose, and people who are asking for answers about what life is about and what happens after we live this life. There's a lot of dying going on, and we all need to know that we need to look beyond this life, that there's something more. We want to give them an answer, that there's something beyond even this life too, that you can have a life of purpose here and you can continue even after. So those are the kind of people that we want to help. So demographically, people from any ethnicity, young people, teenagers, adults, young professionals. We have a bunch of young professionals amongst us, educated, highly educated, not highly educated. We can work with those people. And those who really have a heart to make a difference, activists who want to really make a difference, we welcome those people, yes.
which people need your help, but you cannot help yet? And how are you addressing this?
Yes. So I just gave a whole like litany of all kinds of people that we desire to help. But of course, that helping people requires resources too. Requires resources. So you can only help to a particular point at a particular time, and then you continue to grow and to expand it. So right now, we will really, really love to help. Like, I know there's a lot of refugees that are coming into the Rogers Park area. Now, what we've been doing, we've been partnering with one of those refugee organizations, and just underground, we're supplying some of their families' needs. But there are a bunch of other things that we are unable to do right now that we really desire to do. Like, things like getting them, jobs, or, all those kind of stuff, like as much as we want to. So there's still some limitations that we face in that area. So I would say that's one example of people that, we really love to be more and more involved with, but we're doing it in a limited measure that we would like to do it, more. Yeah.
So,
And then of course, yes, go ahead, please.
So, for the refugees, you're referring to maybe the recent issue with the Taliban and the Afghanistan refugees.
Yes. Yes. We have actually worked with, I actually found them also on your group. They saw us doing stuff. So they reached out to me that, wow, why don't you come into our group? So I joined the group too. So they post things in there for new people on SIV visas and all that. So we just adopt them and just say, yeah, we're going to do this, we're going to do that one. But there's still, there's a way you can help people. There are different levels of helping people. The lowest level is relief. Relief is like when you give them something that they need at the moment. But then the second level is empowerment. You can give a man a fish, but he'll be hungry again, right? But if you teach him how to fish, then he can be able to continue feeding himself. But there's another level. If you teach him how to own the pond, that's the best help that you can give the person. So we believe in helping on those three levels. First of all, we start by giving the man a fish or woman a fish, then teach them to fish, and then teach them to own the pond, teach them to have businesses, to find their own purpose and do stuff. So we would like to go to graduate to that with the people that we work with. But right now we're at the point of just relief, some relief, yeah. So it's giving fishes. Yeah.
How has the ministry changed from what you envisioned it to be when you started City Light?
So, well, I will answer that from two dimensions: positive, negative, or maybe expectations. So, in terms of, when we started, then we started on the south side a while ago. That's about 16 years or so that we started. The world has totally changed, in the 16 years. Going back then, I think YouTube just started. There was no TikTok. There was no, so many things that are in existence right now that were not in existence then. So, and then of course, neighborhoods also changed. Like the neighborhood where we started on the south side, we started in the Bronzeville neighborhood on the south side. It's gentrified, it's changed. The people that live there have changed. So that has, changed, a lot of things about the way we do ministry. When we first started there on the south side, there were a lot of kids on the street, teenagers and all that. So we'll bust them in, we will teach them, help them, mentor them and all that. But suddenly along the line, a lot of them were moved away from that. As the houses became more expensive in that Bronzeville area, they were moved further south. So we were trying to bust them in. But after a while, we lost touch with some of them. But good things that we're meeting some of them. Like I was so glad that I met one some weeks ago who is now in the police force. And we're working for him. He was in Chicago police now. He's 25 or so. But when we started then, I think he was around 9 years old or so. When we started, working with him, bringing him in, bringing them in from the, community into the church. So a lot of things have changed. And then, of course, like I said, COVID has changed the world now, all these live shows that we're doing. I'm sure in the past, we'll be in that studio, right, together, doing this,
Mm-hmm.
but now we're doing this. So it's positive in some ways, but in other ways it's stretching. So those are just some changes.
So what kind of challenges you've made a lot of headway, and what kind of challenges did you have to face to get here, to get through giving people relief, empowerment, and then the graduation?
Yeah. Well, so the first challenge I faced was that I was an immigrant, right? So the first thing, well, what are you trying to do? You are not from here. That's one of the first thing. But eventually, we were able to overcome that, like by being consistent. When they saw that, wow, these guys are consistent. They just keep on doing this thing, keep on doing this thing. Then people just accepted us, and we have some partnerships that have lasted, over a decade. That we've been working together in the community. So that was the first challenge. Second challenge was understanding the city. So if you were not born somewhere, you have to learn. So I had to get a lot of people around me that were born here. Always learned from people that showed me. I went to Moody and all that. So just that learning, the learning curve was the second challenge. Then of course, then came the challenge of what about resources? So we're blessed to have very generous people that work with us, and a bunch of them are highly educated people and so on. But of course, when it comes to buildings and properties and all that, we have some challenges, with that, finding the kind of buildings that we wanted, properties. But we're able to overcome that. When we got a building on the south side, we had to renovate it and rebuild it and all that. Now on the north side right now, where we just got this one that we renovated, but we're now looking for a building that can truly serve the community. So these are some of the challenges that we face, that we face. Yeah. And of course, you when you are doing this stuff, you lose some people along the way too. We've worked with people some young people that have died, been killed. We've worked with people, like working with homeless people and all that. Some of them end up in jail. So we've had some losses along the way that, broke our hearts, but we just continue, helping and supporting, yes.
We remember that you told us before that you were a leader even when you were in Nigeria. You were already mentoring youth in Nigeria. So you came over here, and then you worked, and then how did you make the transition from working and just trying to make a living into actually starting a ministry? How did the fire spark?
Yeah. So, that's a great question, because everybody, faces that. You want to make a difference, but you also have to take care of your needs and your family, right? So how do you do that? So, well, the first thing is, there's something called tent making. It's actually a biblical term. There was a missionary in the Bible, for those who are not familiar, called Paul. Paul was his name. So while he was preaching, he was making tents and selling tents to take care of himself. So that's where that term tent making came from. So the way that's what we adopted, that while we're making a difference, we still need to take care of things. And of course, at the beginning, we had to use our own resources, just our own resources, to even start to help people. So we've always done something like, doing something on the side. So for example, that building that we have right now in Rogers Park is self-sustaining, because the upper level is an Airbnb. Part of the lower level is a Airbnb, and people are constantly booking it, and then helping to support, the full building itself. So we've always done things like that on the side, that are legitimate, that allows us to continue. And then we also have people that, just do full-time work and support. They do it. Like my wife, she still works for Chapinall at the University of Chicago, though she works remotely, but that, helps also in supporting. And we have other people like that too. So, but what I've done is to do this tent making thing of building, creating things that create resources, like businesses and all that. Yeah. So
Yes.
that's one of the ways.
Well, Gregory, thank you so much for joining us today on Community Unity Now. We wish you the best of luck in your Go Church. And this is Bill Morton, and I am Trudy Leong. And thank you so much for joining us tonight. Good night.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good night.
Mhm.